flashbacks, you know, with sound effects on them and a bang on every single cut.
Oh yeah, because they're kind of feeling some terrible event that happened in that
In
space.
the past, yeah, some ancient historical killing. That, I don't want to give anything away. Oh, that's scary. Well, that's what, it's just a lawnmower. Isn't it?
I think it is just a
Just
lawnmower.
garden work.
Yeah.
Okay, also, suggested by John from Bognor and by Fred, baddies who come back to life, and then who are shot suddenly by the hero's accomplice who's standing behind them. That's a convention of action movies and thrillers, really, and horror films. Another good one is cats jumping out of cupboards. Very prominent in The Grudge. A cat in a cupboard.
Yeah, and
says Will. And Will also asked the question, what are the cats doing in the cupboards in the first place?
Good point, Will.
I don't pop my cat in the cupboard. Maybe I should.
No, don't, because you'll freak yourself out, man, when it pops out.
That's true. I want food, that sort of stuff. Pop it in the cupboard. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Later, open the cupboard. Oh, the cat! Oh, it's not a very scary scenario, is it?
That must have come from Alien. Was there cats jumping out before
No,
Alien?
it's mainly The Grudge. There's a very naughty cat in The Grudge who makes scary noises and then turns out just to be a cat.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one we had was just generally exploring scary things, which is, again, a bit of a cliche, isn't it? But everyone always does that.
Sorry, exploring scary things?
Well, you're in a clearly scary situation and you hear a noise, you go and investigate it.
Come on, if you stop people doing that, there's not going to be any horror films left.
That's true. And someone was also asking, what are the things that are scary? What's the upside to this? And that's a good question.
No, it's a good question.
I've got a couple of suggestions.
Ooh.
Things in bed.
Oh.
That's not a territory that's been covered a lot by horror films. It's done very well in The Grudge. She's in the bed, suddenly there's an old crone between her legs.
Scrabbling around under the sheets.
You lift up the duvet to have a bit of a waft.
Yeah.
And then what is there but an old crone under there, fiddling around where she doesn't belong. That's
Double
frightening,
whammy,
isn't it?
Stinky fart smell and crone.
The other thing that you thought is still genuinely frightening, Adam, was violent, threatening, psychopathic people.
Yeah, well, atmosphere of impending violence.
Especially in Dead Man's Shoes.
Yeah, there's a
Paddy
great
Considine. Someone who's actually nice, but also a nutter.
Exactly, you're never quite sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. I find knives very frightening.
Yeah.
Any sort of street crime or knife-related stuff I find
There's a good bit in
frightening.
Psycho 2, isn't there, where he's just bashing around with a knife and someone's getting stabbed in the hands. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. I remember the spade action in Psycho 2.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, we've yet to decide who to award the tickets to the Manic Street Preachers. So if you can think of a better scary thing that's no longer scary, text us 83XFM and you could win those tickets.
Yeah, we'll wrap that one up in the next link, I think. And I still want to hear about the Make Me a Supermodel party. But first, music. That's tune-packed. The Magic Numbers there with Forever Lost. This is Adam and Joe on XFM.
Now, we're going to put to bed our Things That Aren't Scary Anymore competition. Thank you very much to everybody who's texted in. We've had some fantastic suggestions, including a very good one, I think, is brass door handle movement.
Right.
Just a close-up of a door handle turning.
Turning, sure.
That's from Wellesley in Maidstone. He's right, they are always brass as well. In the Amityville Horror, they try and amp it up a bit by putting a crucifix on the door handle. Don't know a lot of people who are so religious they have crucifixes embossed onto their door handle, but of course, when it turns spookily, the crucifix is inverted! Which is something that only very, very evil people do, invert crucifixes.
That's right. That's why you would not have a crucifix on your door handle.
No, because every time anyone came in, you'd be
naughty.
Tipping your head to Satan.
That's the kind of thing that Marilyn Manson probably does.
That hasn't been thought through properly by Andrew Douglas, the director of the Amityville Horror, who is in fact a British man.
Yeah.
And who one of our listeners' dad has worked with, according to another text.
We want Douglas on the phone now.
Andrew Douglas, to explain why would a Christian family have crucifixes on their door handles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they'd have them on there because they like Jesus and all, but what are they going to do about the inversion problem?
Yeah, that's a good point. Does that almost deserve the tickets?
Maybe it does.
Because I think it's between Wellesley and Maidstone for the brass door handle inversion and cats jumping out of cupboards from Will.
I'd go for the brass door handle. That's a more interesting observation.
Yeah, but I added the Amityville thing. Maybe I'll go with Wellesley.
Go with Wellesley.
I won't. Wellesley, you can win the tickets. Wellesley and Maidstone, congratulations.
Hey!
You've won those tickets to the Manic Street Preachers. Someone else suggesting that Frank in Blue Velvet is in fact one of the scariest characters
That's
in a
good.
film ever. And I think that's true. I think David Lynch is one of the... he's not really officially a horror director, is he?
No.
He's more of a... but his films are scarier than any horror films.
Yeah, well, definitely Blue Velvet's got that sort of impending violence from
What's
Nutty
the
Person.
one where the man... that really scary man turns up at the party with the phone, and he gets the guy to speak to himself.
Lost Highway.
That's Lost Highway. That's terrifying.
That is frightening. And the first time I saw Dune as well, the big fat floaty guy who rips out people's...
That's not scary,
That's
is it?
scary! Come on, he goes over to a guy, he's got a plug in his heart and he tears it out and then sucks all the blood out. That's frightening.
Okay, that's a bit frightening.
Gosh.
Well done. There we go. Well done, Wellesley.
Nice one, Wellesley. So congratulations on that. Now, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, very shortly we're going to be finding out about Joe's time and I'm really excited about this.
You're going to be so disappointed.
You're playing it down, but I can't possibly be disappointed. I just want to hear all about it. And if you, like me, want to hear all about it, stick with us. Adam and Joe on XFM.
XFM.
Oh, it's just gone very cold in the studio. Maybe Evil is here.
Well, that was Bernard Butler recombined with Brett Anderson, so
Is that
maybe
Evil?
they may have formed Evil.
Oh, suddenly there's a very spooky...
I don't think so. It felt like magic to me, Joe.
Really? Musical magic.
Musical
There we
magic
go.
from the Refugees. No, the Tears, I'm sorry, and a song called Refugees. It's very cold outside, though. It seemed to be as if the summer was on. I know you get very upset and frustrated when I talk about the weather, but it's cold. It's upsetting to me that it's now cold again, and it's practically midsummer. Anyway, come on, tell us what the party for Make Me a Supermodel was like. Just to remind listeners, this was the Channel 5 show that both myself and Joe were addicted to, about the attractive young ladies in a house behaving ludicrously and getting thrown out one by Rachel Hunter and a couple of other nobodies.
Peru and Tandy, they are not nobodies.
Sorry, did you meet Peru and Tandy?
I did not meet them, no. But I was sitting very near to them.
Anyway, it turned out this show on Channel 5, which is now finished, was produced by someone that used to produce our programme, The Adam and Joe Show. So we kind of canvassed on air for a ticket to go along to the final live kind of competition, and Joe went along.
I went along, yeah.
Wow, where was it?
It was at a brewery near the Barbican, very, very chic venue. And I was sat, sorry, I don't know what happened there, weird bit of mucus. I was sat in the front row, basically, right next to the catwalk, where, at a proper fashion show, you know, big stars would sit.
Like Joe Cornish?
Joe Cornish, or Kate Moss, or...
Doherty.
Pete Doherty, people like that. So I was sat there. To my left was Lisa Scott Lee. I'm not entirely
Elvis's
sure who she
daughter.
is. Is she from Steps?
She's from Elvis. No, yeah, she was from Steps.
Yeah. And, look, why are both of our production staff just reading the paper while we're talking?
They've heard it all before.
Lila, come on, look, even
Mail.
Christmas Day.
Read and listen.
Look interested.
I heard you were sitting near the famous people near Kate Moss. Carry on.
To my left was Lisa Scott Lee. That doesn't wake you up, nothing will. To my right was a very orange man. I don't know who he was, but he looked like Harry Hill, if Harry Hill didn't dress as a joke, you know? That's really it. And the girls came out and they walked up and down, almost naked, right in front of me.
Brilliant.
And it was brilliant, but I was with my girlfriend who wasn't very comfortable about the whole occasion.
She could be a supermodel herself.
She could indeed, but I think she was questioning my motives.
Was she?
I think she thought, why does Joe want to come to this thing where 18-year-old girls parade up and down totally naked with snakes?
And what would be your explanation for that?
Because I fancy them.
But you're already going out with a very attractive girl.
I know, but you can't get enough attractive girls.
I suppose
Isn't that a fact?
That's true.
And plus I was very emotionally involved. And you know, I spent a lot of time watching the families of the models, because they were all sat the other side of a catwalk from me.
Yeah.
All their relatives. And every time a VT package came on, every time they played some video in, everybody in that group of audience, everybody in the family, would turn around and watch it. Apart from Alice's dad. The girl who won, her dad. He looked a bit like a cross between Timothy Biggins and Timmy Mallet.
Who's Timothy Biggins? Christopher
Biggins, I'm sorry, and Timmy Mallet. And he just sat there looking quite depressed through the whole thing.
Well,
and then when his daughter won, he
got
looked
really depressed.
Really depressed.
Yeah, I
and
bet.
was applauding in a slightly lackluster way. His hands were going, well done, and his face was going, this is the beginning of the end
That's
for
right.
my daughter.
See ya.
Oh dear, I really felt for him, so I spent half of the time looking at his daughter naked, and the other half of the time looking at him, empathising with how he felt about people like me looking at his daughter naked. So it was an extraordinary journey into the quandary that is very young models.
Wow.
Anyway, so...
Thanks for taking that journey for us.
There you go. But the best thing was, the next day, I got home, and...
one of them was waiting for you?
No, sadly. A courier arrived with the most amazing goodie bag I've ever received.
From the model show?
From the model show. Enough beauty products, hair curlers, hair straighteners, T-shirts, watches. Oh, to last me a lifetime.
A little
it was
sachet
amazing.
of Charlie.
I smell so amazing now.
I thought you did.
Yeah, and I curled my hair, then straightened it.
Wow.
I'm wearing a tiny little pink T-shirt.
I love that thong
I've
as
got
well.
lip balm on.
That's great.
I am the sexiest man.
You definitely are.
In the world.
We've got Ditties in the Dock coming up very shortly. Here's a free play right now. This is The Fall. Okay, it's time for Ditties in the Dock here on the Adam and Joe programme on XFM. This is the part of the show where Joe and myself battle it out for who gets to play the final song of our 2-hour stint here on a Saturday afternoon. So, Joe, do you want to go first or shall I?
Well, I haven't really decided. I chose the subject this week to be space. Songs about space. Why did I choose that? Maybe because it was a kind of a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy sort of week for me. I saw that midweek.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoyed it very much. And so I thought maybe a space theme would be good. But I can't decide what to choose.
Well, there's a lot of classic space songs.
Well, I've got Elton John with Rocket Man, but somehow I don't think XFM listeners are going to vote for that, are they?
Listen, you shouldn't play to the crowd. Just vote for what you love, man.
The disco theme from Star Wars by Miko. No one's going to vote for that, are they? It's funny, though. That's funny. Carpenters with Calling, Occupants of Interplanetary Craft.
Can I just say...
No one will vote for that, will they?
You should have done this before you came into the studio.
I'm trying to get some help.
There's
Bowie with Starman.
It's supposed
That's
to be
overplayed.
a vicious competition.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, then. Elton John with Rocket Man. My choice is Elton John with Rocket Man, because I like it a lot. I really do, and I love singing along to it. And if you've got, if you enjoy singing along to things, you'll enjoy singing along to it too. Elton John is a big man with big man boobs. I saw him playing tennis the other day. He's an absurd, great roly-poly monster, isn't he? But I don't know what to say. It's a great song, and it's about space, so vote for it. Wow. Work, is it?
Well, you undersold it, because it is a classic song.
It's a classic song, so what else do I need to say?
I wouldn't mind being beaten by it, or by him, in fact. But I've gone for something at the other end of the space spectrum. It's The Only Ones, with Another Girl, Another Planet, which is a classic kind of punk tune. And if you don't know it, this is an opportunity for you to introduce yourself to a wonderful world.
Is it very well known?
I would say it's pretty well known within the
It's on the best punk album in the world ever that I see you're holding in your hand.
Exactly. It's
so
also
it must be quite well known.
It's also a track from a classic album called SF
I'm
Sorrow.
shafted.
No, it's not. It's not super well known.
Elton John is going to shaft me.
Listen, either one of these songs is an absolute peach. So it's up to you, listeners, which one you go for. Either The Only Ones with Another Girl, Another Planet, or Elton John with Rocket Man.
And just to motivate you, 3 callers will win a copy of Apollo 13, the space film. You know, there you go, space film.
Space film.
Space, all about space.
We did a hilarious toy version of that once, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Called Apollo 13, but we didn't quite spell it right. No, we spelt it weirdly with, like, maybe one L or 2 L's.
APALLO, Apollo 13.
It was weird.
That's alright, it's funny.
Anyway.
It's early.
0871 222 1049 is the number to call. Just say, Elton or The Only Ones, okay? Elton or The Only Ones. And we will find out which is the winner after we have some more music. Right now, who are we going to have? Oh, LCD Sound System with Daft Punk is playing at my house. Check it out. That is Razorlight with Somewhere Else, and before that, you heard LCD Sound System with Daft Punk is playing at my house.
Yes, it's Ditties in the Dock, the part of the show where Adam and I fight it out to be the one who plays the last record. This week it is a space theme. Who are we playing against, Dad? Oh, what are the records?
Well, Joe, you've gone for Elton John with Rocket Man. My choice was The Only Ones with a punk classic entitled Another Girl, Another Planet.
We have caller line.
Haley. Haley, are you there?
I am here, hi.
How you doing, Haley?
I'm fine, thank you.
What are you up to today? You sound a little bit angry. Why are you angry?
No, I'm not, we're filming today. I'm student filmmakers, they're filming downstairs in my house.
Really? That's
down a bit, yeah.
How, why did you let them do that?
I don't know, I'm not quite sure.
That's famously a thing never to do if you're even vaguely proud of your house, is let a film crew in.